The following topics appear in this episode. Viewer discretion, as always, is advised. So we open today's session with Garrow. You are, where you currently are is a library. Hopefully you remember your character, because I told you it was all going to be about you. You are in a library. There is no ceiling and no floors. Only shelves that extend outward in all directions, each one filled with copies of your Book of Ash. Every edition is different. Some are scorched, some are pristine, some are unfinished, and their pages flutter as if waiting to be written. When you look around and you look down, you notice that you're holding your copy of your book in your hands. It's heavier than you remember it, and the air in the room is still. No wind, no breath, no sound of turning pages, and a voice speaks. Not from behind you, not from the air, from the spine of the book in your hands. Measured and calmly, as though explaining something obvious to a trusted colleague, you keep calling them, wondering about them. Lies. And the book opens in your hand on its own, forcing your hands apart. Ink rearranges, letters flowing backward, reforming into passages that you recognize immediately. The execution that you presided over as Session 1 opened, and the judgment that you had written perfectly. And the outcome is different. Lies require intent, and memory has none. What do you do in this moment?
So the outcome of the execute, does it say that he was alive?
No.
So he wasn't, the person we executed was never executed, is essentially what it says.
You can make that deduction.
Who are you talking about? What lies?
What is recorded is not always what happens. You record what the world agreed had meaning, but not necessarily truth.
I record stories about these people who were once lived and who gave themselves for the Empire.
The shelves around you begin to shift. Some of the books on the shelves rot away into ash, and others grow heavier, their bindings reinforced by unseen hands as they break the shelves that they sit on and they fall. Truth is not chronology, Chaplain. Truth is consensus made stable. You believe that you write truth, but how could you know?
I know from the witnesses, from my very own eyes, I've seen the truth.
Do you believe that the flame burns lies?
No. I believe the flame is truth. The flame burns away lies.
That belief is functionally correct, Chaplain. And the word functionally, as that word is said, kind of echoes as if there were walls here. But lies are not falsehoods. They are unstable narratives. The book slams shut, and then it opens again, and the book is blank. Reality cannot tolerate contradictions indefinitely. When enough people remember differently, the universe must choose.
And who am I talking to?
You're talking to every version of the truth that exists.
How can there be so many versions of the truth?
Something can be true, or it can be false. But if no one remembers it, then what does that mean?
And that's why I'm tasked with remembering. That's why I write these people into this book.
There's an eerie pause, and you think that maybe the book is no longer talking to you. And then, as that uncomfortableness sets in, so you choose the version of truth that survives.
I guess you could see it that way. I just choose to record what is.
Your book, Chaplain, does not change the past. It records the outcomes of the struggles that you cannot see until they've finished. The shelves begin to collapse inward, spiraling slowly in towards you. Gods are not authors. They are editors. And for the first time, the voice of the book sounds almost tired. They correct reality where it frays. They harmonize memory where it splinters. And they require instruments that can withstand that contradiction. The book grows warm in your hands like it did when it changed itself before. Chaplain, you are not corrupting history. You can simply see all of the truths converging. Images flicker across the pages now. They're no longer blank. They're not even events that you remember, but they're possibilities. You see the battle that you just went through. You see all of the ways that it could have changed and could have been different. You see Cassie die permanently. You see Cole's armor shatter. You see all of the possibilities. You see failure in negotiation. You see the ultimate success. You see what happens if the choir was not slain. You see everything. And slowly and surely, all of those possibilities that are flashing before your eyes begin to dissolve until only the reality that you remember remains on the page. The reason your book changes is simple. You are writing closer to the truth than the world can bear.
But how can all those other possibilities be the truth? They didn't happen. Only what I've recorded has happened. How can it be anything other than that?
There must be a herald, Chaplain. Someone who understands that truth is not moral, that justice without coherence is annihilation. The shelves stop moving. You already serve. You merely lack the full vocabulary. You ask questions. We will teach you. We will teach you how to read the multiple realities, how to affect their outcomes. And if memory fractures, faith must decide what a shared reality becomes. We teach you how to read what you already write, not as a chaplain, but as a herald. And the book closes in dust. And before you can answer, you wake. And you wake to a scream in the street as you hear Annalise screaming in fear. And all of you guys wake as well, from your rest to like the sound of terror coming from the street.
First thing I do is make sure I still have my book, so I'll grab the book and
You do. It's normal.
look at it. The spider.
Cole sort of just jolts up, and I'm out the door. No time to think. I'm out.
So in the streets, a figure lies sprawled across the stone roadway, bloodied, broken armor, shallow breathing, and you see Theodore Kairos, who you have no idea where the heck he was. And over him, you see Annalise stumble backwards, nearly dropping her camera on the ground. He looks dead. Then he gasped. His body spasms. I don't know what to do. He looks like he's dead.
Anybody want to take a look at that? I'm no doctor.
I go take a look just to see what's going on. Take a look at.
And you can go ahead and roll knowledge.
That would be that was a 7 with fear.
Springy's maxed.
So I'm maxed, but I will spend.
Actually,
oh,
I'm
Oh.
technically something I do. I'm gonna use support tank. So when you, if you're, imagine I'm close to you. When you fail a roll, I can spend 2 hope to allow you to re-roll one of your 2 dice.
All right. We rolled a 1 then.
was it a 1?
Yeah.
That's a good
The
attempt.
gods decide.
I'm getting in the way at this point. What is it?
So, there is a feature that you now have that we might as well unveil now. The weight of damnation. So anytime Caspian rolls a failure with fear, I gain 2 fear instead of 1. So I have 2 fear to spend.
My bad.
So the first fear I will spend to give you a stress, and the second fear I will give to give a stress to our NPC Annalise. And Annalise stumbles backwards, having a panic attack into Oro. I thought I understood war. The fires, the banners, the war. I was supposed to remember it, but it's not beautiful. It's just people breaking and it doesn't make sense. And I just want to go home. Before you respond, the result of what you determine, he's still alive. You have no idea how to heal him. But he is very badly wounded.
We need a doctor.
Look at me, I'm with Sandy right now. Like, Annie, where's the squad that you were supposed to be with?
Supposed to be with you.
No?
I don't know. Somewhere.
Okay. Stay behind. We'll deal with this. Close your eyes.
You see Calliope in the distance, kind of walking over and takes Annalise and takes her into the building that you guys rested in.
Is there like anyone else nearby, or is it just us?
There are like civilians, like non-combatants. You notice them hiding in their buildings, in their homes, kind of afraid to come out. In the distance, you see soldiers from the Legion, kind of mopping up and finishing this. The battle is over, and you kind of see them like coalescing slowly.
Is Theodore conscious still?
Like at the in and out of like lucidity.
I'm gonna start kind of yelling at him, like, what happened? What? Who did
Around a
this?
bit.
I'll help.
Shaking him.
And just with your presence and or your instinct rather, you do see he does have some healing potions on him,
All right.
so you could administer those.
Yeah, I'm going to administer to him. Very clumsily, but
6 HP. All right. So he kind of comes to. Oh, gentlemen, how goes it? What a headache.
you all right there?
Oh, well, there was fighting while you slept. Chaos, no lines, no command. I was trying to find you. It almost got there.
Yeah, right outside the door, really. If you just died a little louder, we probably would have heard you.
Yeah.
Well, what happened?
Well, I don't know what those creatures were, but it looked like fire and brimstone and come to life, kind of like the trees that we burned down, but alive and way more angry. They were all over the place. And and we saw a big explosion out this way, so that's why I figured I'd come back here. I kind of got distracted earlier when I was supposed to be with you guys. That's my bad.
Distracted doing what?
Can I make an insight?
Yeah.
I see.
Sure. Let him answer, and then I'll give you the insight. We were being followed, so I decided to check it out.
What'd you find?
An ambush.
Right.
I don't really all the bad stuff started to happen before really could figure it out, but I'm led to believe that the negotiations were all just a facade to cover a betrayal of some sort while you guys were in your negotiations. Didn't get that far though. Something woke up hell.
Who knows what that could have
Yeah,
been?
something.
Yeah. Interesting. Can I borrow a D12 from anyone? I don't have my other.
You don't want her D12s.
Actually, yeah. I don't want Tim's either. Actually, Tim,
Yeah, Bone.
and that's why. I mean, it's a 13, but with fear.
Should have taken
Wait, no,
mine.
16 with fear.
Okay, so it's a success with fear. And you're doing insight?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get a pulse on the body language, see if there's any like indicators of.
He's coming across as like stressed. Like this is not his army. He's from a different host, so he has kind of no idea what he's doing. He's a little overwhelmed, but he seems genuine.
I was honing in on the distracted part specifically.
Oh,
Yeah, he said he was distracted.
Yeah, that seems to be genuine. It seems to be he was taking his job very seriously, and he's from the seventh host, so you would know that he's like an alchemist. So he would be very attuned to things like that.
Did you see Annie while you were out and about?
Annalise?
Yeah.
Is that that's that? No, I did
No.
not. No.
So she just found you right now?
Yes.
Okay.
What was Annalise and Calliope doing outside the house?
I don't even attempt to understand an artist.
That's fair. Seems like they're trying to get themselves killed.
I mean, you see now Annalise is off looking at dead bodies.
Oh, gee.
I just told her to
Or
close
not
it.
Annalise, Calliope. I'm sorry.
Ah.
Calliope is off looking at dead bodies.
That's your
I'm
problem.
gonna go up to her. Calliope,
Hi.
what you looking at?
You remember how I said that I was hoping to find inspiration in death?
Sure.
I think I found it. And it's quiet and beautiful.
Ooh. I don't know if you were there when we just, went through all that. I don't know if I'd call any of that quiet and beautiful. It's pretty loud.
Do you remember when it grabbed me?
Hard to forget.
I wasn't afraid.
I was.
I think I know my calling, and I can write about this, and I'm just studying.
Let's go back. I think.
No, I'd like to stay and observe and pay respects to the fallen. These, and she points to the dead civilians in the street, they had no part in this. They're just innocent lives. What could it hurt?
Then I will stand by for as long as you need me.
Thank you. And she continues to look, and she was like, maybe a little disrespectfully, like looking through personal artifacts, and as she takes notes on what they're wearing and how they're looking, and she goes over to one person, looks like who was like extremely burned on the left side of their face, and she kind of like removes their head and looks at the injuries, and you can see she's silently crying as she writes notes to create her poem.
Chaplain, is that going to be a problem?
So Garen is pretty distracted looking through his book. He just kind of looks up and is like, What are you talking about?
The poet, the obsession with the Emperor's Forgotten.
And those are civilians of the people we are occupying or ours?
Yeah, that's the only bodies that are around at the moment.
Chaplain just looks at Calliope and the bodies and see, I try to warn people, and that's the price of heresy.
Wait, the poet or the dead?
The dead.
Okay. If you see no fault with it, who am I to judge?
So I'm new to this whole politics thing. Does it normally end in a ton of bloodshed?
I don't think that was the desired outcome that we were seeking. I'm not sure exactly what went wrong there. I mean, when they worship false gods, can't really expect too many good outcomes, I suppose.
Yeah. So we're supposed to stay here, reinstate a new government? Is someone else's job, or we own this place, or
We own this place.
We specifically.
I like the sound of
do we plant a flag? I'm trying to figure out exactly what my role is in this still.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's Lucian's problem, right? I'm assuming the host will come in and establish some kind of hierarchy here.
All right.
All traces of heresy are gone.
I don't know if all traces are, but it seems like we've definitely dealt a deciding blow to the heretics.
So maybe we should report back.
I assume we'd already reported back if
Oh,
we're
yeah.
sleeping.
Or holed up in the.
No, you guys were like
We were
almost
like-
dead. So while the combat was going
we're
on,
still in the city.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh wow! So we slept through all the fighting.
Yeah.
Half of it.
I use my body to prop the door.
I thought
Yeah.
we were in camp.
no, not yet.
No. So step 1, get out of the city. Step 2, make sure the artists aren't going a little, And then step 3, report.
Do we have a mental eval team back in camp?
Psychologist in camp.
We got a social worker in the army.
Okay, so you're gonna try to collect yourself and head out.
Yep.
I'm gonna like grab Calliope by the shoulders and be like, "We should go. Come on."
Just a few more minutes.
No.
Calliope was the one that had like the demon in her, right?
Not
No,
the demon choked her.
Yeah.
It busted out of my friend.
Apparently okay with it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing.
It's consensual.
She's into that kind
Whatever
of.
she's into.
We got to go back to camp. There will be more dead bodies at some point.
I'll make sure of it.
You're not helping.
We know our roles.
Fine. As you go back into like that little area there, you have one of your guys is still alive, and you have Annalise there, like looking through the photos that she's taken.
Annalise, did you get a good one of me punching that fire demon? Please, just one.
She hands you a photo, and on the photo, you're fighting something that's not there.
Oh.
It doesn't show up in the photos. I'm so confused. I don't understand. It was there. I took photos.
This was way cooler looking in my head.
Doesn't make any sense. Like,
No, I got the burn marks.
the
Thing was real.
camera is supposed to record the truth.
And
So we got Chaplain for, right? Recorder of truths.
Is that what he does?
Yeah. What the camera doesn't capture, he does.
Except the name won't scribe into the book either.
Any? Let me see those. Can I snatch them from her before she?
Sure.
I'm flipping through them. Anything of note?
There is a lot of photos of the combat happening, and in all of them, there's nothing like you see. You're getting bloodier. There's blood on the ground. Things are exploding. Things are burning. But there's no demon in any of the images. And the last photo that is in her possession is of Cassie on the ground. By all appearances, dead.
I'm gonna fold that one up, put it in the pocket. Cole, do you want yours?
I remember it. She can have them.
I'm gonna corrosive bubble it. The whole album that she took.
Give me a presence check. We're gonna do like you're going to be in intimidation here.
Okay. I will mark a hope, and by a hope I mean an armor slot because I have no hope. To use my either, which one's more appropriate? Based on the nature of this, it's either like the fickle tide, like the supernatural esoterics a bit, works in a mysterious way, or a man is only good for one oath because it's like, military related.
Yeah, maybe that one.
That one?
Yep.
Okay. So add +2. That's bad. That sucks. That's an 11. And if that doesn't work, let me know, because I will use more stuff to make it a success.
Oh, you're gonna have to use more stuff.
Okay.
Was that with fear?
Yes, also with fear. Dice isn't helping.
I got like 3 more sets. You want to try a new one?
Yours actually rolled the highest. My dice isn't working.
That's what I thought.
Have you tried using her dice as the hope dice?
It's too late. I tried to make a commitment. I was like, this is the hope dice for the session.
Yeah,
This
you
is the fear dice.
you gotta change it. You gotta use our dice for
You
the
allowed
hope.
to do that? Just switch it up.
I feel like that's a quick way to. But yeah, so. Oh, I also get one of these. Ha ha ha. But yes, okay, that's a success with fear. I use my witch charm.
So she begins to cry. But with fear, she looks up at you, and in a tone of voice you have never heard her say, he knows that your inability to remember and to accept the truth will lead you to damnation. And she turns and walks away. And she will always remember that.
She'll remember that.
Exactly.
Spent a lot of points to make her cry.
I did. That was a lot. I burned through so much resource.
I am going to spend a fear as well. You're going to mark a stress from the words that she said to you through a tone of voice that you have not ever heard, that he will remember. Little bit of stress. Who the hell is he? Like she cut into you with a knife.
She said that he won't remember.
He will remember that my forgetting will lead to damnation. As she walks away, I just whisper, "Oh, it happened. It's gonna happen once more again, I guess."
You guys head out. What will the leading order be in our march to get out of the city?
I'll take the back.
Take the lead.
I'll be like
Garen will take
in
the lead.
between. I'm gonna put Calliope between me and Cole.
That's good.
I'm gonna put Annie behind me. I want to talk to you as
Okay.
we walk.
So I'm guarding the 2 civilians.
Yeah,
that
pretty
are-
much.
Got it.
Yeah, and as Garen's marching, he's like clutching the book too. Like it's not tucked away. It's like in his hand to his like body, and he's like kind of looks like he's just like like stargazing forward, almost like dazed out of it.
Make a good escort, Cole.
Thanks. Already lost one man on this trip.
So, Cassie,
Yes.
our friends seem to not be handling this well.
Yeah, I could have told you that before this.
So, why did we let them with us again?
I think we let them do anything.
You're right. It was my decision. I thought it'd
No,
scare
that's
them.
not what I meant. First of all, I think it was their decision to come, ultimately. There was not much we could do to dissuade them.
Disagree. We pull rank. What's the point of being in the inner circle if you're not going to leverage that authority?
Well,
I'll speak for myself. I let Annie come because I thought first-hand experience would put some fear in her and keep her back in camp.
was my train of thought as well, honestly. I was hoping that Calliope would see that war isn't all it's cracked up to be and then stop wanting to see it. But I think I just made her worse. How screwed are we?
I don't know. They're artists. We were screwed from the start.
No. Yeah, probably.
So now my question is, because if they become compromised or people start to suspect, who do you think they're going to look at next?
I don't know if I like the answer to that.
I'm a conscript from the slums in prison. Worked my way up. Shout out to Shappy. But if they look at me and you, they're gonna eventually look at Cole. And if all three of us are in Den Nice, they're gonna eventually look at Shappy too.
Nothing to do with him.
He's the one who got me out. The one that got Cole out.
It's the one with us during all this. We'll keep an eye on them. You know, make sure they're good, they're safe, they don't start speaking in tongues or whatever heretic stuff happens. And I guess protect our own asses while we're at it.
Okay. If the time comes, are you able to do what you're supposed to?
I'll get back to you on that one.
And I pull out the picture. Because it doesn't look like you will.
Okay, fuck you. Where did you get that? What? I snatch it from you. Don't hand it over.
Put it back in my pocket.
Why do you have that? Where did you get that from?
I guess it wasn't all bad that Annalise came.
Theodore sees you guys and he's like, discipline. Jesus, aren't you guys a part of the inner circle?
Yeah,
Save
Seal.
your ass outside of the house.
Seal, mind your tongue when you're talking to us.
You have no say over me. I am not even a part of your host.
Sure. But we are part of the inner circle.
When the
At least treat us
seventh
with
gets here,
respect.
I intend to advocate that we lead the armies from now on because you are all a bunch of whiny, good-for-nothing, crybaby children. Now
Where did this
get your
come from?
shit together and let's get out of this city.
I'll put a sock in your mouth.
Is there like any mud around?
We're making enemies
What's
today.
the ground like?
Is there a big rock I can throw at him?
But you and him used to be best buds.
No, I know.
So,
So I think I can get away with it.
so there is
So-
buddy ground.
So I'm not gonna do it right now, but I'm gonna scoop up and wait for him to turn his back. So I'm preparing.
I'm gonna elbow him in the side and just start walking faster so he can't catch up.
So as you guys are continuing to walk, Chaplain, you actually come across a chapel on your way out of the city. This is the one with the bell tower. I think it was bell tower or something that you guys tried to hit. And this is interesting. The chapel still stands perfectly. It is undamaged completely. And there is flames that crawl on the ground, like raging fire from all the buildings around it. And it just simply stops in a perfect circle around this chapel. And a single civilian sits, kneels, just looking up in astonishment. It looks like maybe he was a priest of this chapel, sits and stares just in disbelief as the fire refuses to touch the building.
Is he inside the flames or outside, inside the circle or outside?
Outside the circle.
Motion to everybody to take a look at the chapel and start heading in that direction. Can we get through? Is there like a path through the flames, or is it?
Not necessarily. Like, you would have to do something to cause the flames to like go out in that area. But it's like complete surrounding the chapel, and it's like in the square. This that used to be like a park.
Well, Theo, you want to show us discipline? Handle the heretic.
You're just assuming that I'm okay with just murdering civilians.
I said, heretic temple.
Yeah.
Heretic.
How do you figure? Is he outside? What is he doing?
Reverence, the kneeling, the form of prayer.
Looks more like disbelief to me than anything.
Cute.
I want to go to the person kneeling, and I'm gonna drop the mud ball that I've been making. I'm gonna go to the person kneeling. I'm just like, what are you doing here?
It's not touching the church.
What's that mean?
I don't know. It's so confusing. It used to answer faster, and maybe I'm doing it wrong.
Chaplain walks up next to them, and is the fire hot? He's gonna like stick his hand in the fire.
It is extremely hot.
I take a small damage.
Yeah.
You praying?
Who would I pray to?
Good answer.
And then Calliope, or not Calliope. Oh my god, I keep getting them backwards in my head. Annalise steps out of line and she goes, "The Emperor protects," and she walks through the fire, and she is unscathed.
I try to follow her.
It's still stressing me out.
The fire like is too hot for you to touch. You can give me knowledge with advantage, knowledge with advantage, disadvantage, straight up.
Advantage is a D6.
Yes,
That'd be
except for
10, yes.
we'll introduce your other feature from your scar. Ichor of the Abyss. Your advantage die is always a D10 instead of a D6.
Can I spend 2 hope to use Keeper of the Book of Ash?
Can you grab a hope for us?
Yeah, sure.
Nice.
I'm gonna use my 2 points in the sea born
Oh, I crit.
Thank you.
Oh, you crit?
to add a plus
Crit.
2.
I rolled 2 2s.
I got a 18.
This is a reminder that is a clearing a stress and gaining a hope.
Nice.
9, but with hope.
Can I?
9.
15, 16, 17, minus 2, so 15 was fear.
18 with fear.
Actually, it's 8. I'm minus 1 on knowledge.
Oh, it's knowledge?
Oh, I'm a 0.
Never mind, that's 14.
Okay. So I am going to you did a crit, so we'll start with you. And what was your score?
18 with fear.
18 with fear. So you, as soon as she says the word "the Emperor protects," like you're like, that is a phrase that is taught to all chaplains, that if you believe strong enough that you can do anything, that that he will provide if you believe in him strong enough. And so she says that, and you are immediately led to believe that that she believes so strongly in what she's doing that she's unafraid of harm that'll come to her. With your success, you kind of you gain the same perspective, but maybe through a different lens. From your lens, you see this woman that was so excited about the prospect and the beauty of war and how beautiful that could be, who is now scarred and traumatized. And when she says the Emperor protects, maybe she is embodying, like, I need to give up all of what I thought that I knew and just trust that if I'm to die now, like, it is what it is. It's in the Emperor's hands. You guys gain nothing.
As a witch that helps set everything ablaze in the outside, is there something I can do to spread the fire out? I do have also the gourd with bubble solution. I don't know if I could use that to help. Drench
I would
some of the fire.
say you rolled with hope, right?
No, I rolled with
You
fear.
rolled with fear. So you under normal circumstances you would probably know how to just extinguish this fire, but seeing her walk through it kind of confuzzles you a little bit.
Okay.
It doesn't. You're worried that it's maybe some sort of magical fire from something unseen that you may or may not want to fuck with.
Okay.
That being said, if you can articulate how you would like to try to put the fire out, we can see if it works.
Sure. I mean, just like outside when we were setting everything ablaze, I would imagine that in part, not necessarily like a corrosive bubble, but like the bubbles come out and kind of like spread, almost like Moses it wherever it pops. And then it creates a small pocket for like maybe a second that someone could walk through. So it would have to be like an array of bubbles. Otherwise, Cole, you want to throw us over?
I thought about it.
How tall are these flames?
Probably in various areas, it's between 5 and 10 feet.
Oh,
yeah.
light work for
How,
you.
how heavy are you guys?
Was the gourd heavy?
Well, Garen's going to try to walk through too. He's going to say the same words, the Emperor protects. Since he is a chaplain of one of his hosts of army and he is one of the Emperor's devout followers, he should be protected.
So what I will ask you, what does Chaplain Garen feel in his heart and in his head about the dream that he had when the question is asked, will you be our herald?
Confused. Very confused.
So he walks through the fire and it burns him. Does he continue? Does he trust that he'll be safe, or does he back away?
How much does it burn?
That is a great question. I guess we'll find out after he answers.
He wants to believe. I think he's more looking at this as like proof that the Emperor is protecting him. So if he does start burning, I think he starts backing off.
Okay.
Oh,
Backs out, so that will reduce the fire damage to 3.
the other thing.
HP or is it minor damage?
It's just minor damage.
The other thing I thought of, can I make a bubble suit? A sheen of bubble like solution? Reinforced by magic?
With your first attempt, you get 17 seconds to make it through before the flame reignites.
I'm going to use the first one as observation. The Emperor protects, but the Emperor also gives us wisdom. So I believe in the Emperor scientific method. Oh no.
Jeez.
So yeah, how can I see through the other side, essentially, by the first bubble? Or is the flame wall too
Yeah,
thick?
your bubble, it pushes it back. You got 17 seconds to get through, more than enough
Okay.
time. It's only like maybe 10 feet.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
So
Can we
it's
follow
tall.
him through, or
Yeah.
All right,
Well,
follow.
have you tested? Have you tested
No,
it to see if it
and
burns you?
I'm
No.
not willing to test
You're not
it.
willing to test it?
I'm also not willing to test it.
Okay. So the first bubble pops, observation. I'll do it again.
Very
And
good. You guys get
what
through.
about the poet, though?
Oh, yeah. What's Calliope up to right now?
She's just standing and observing and taking notes.
Do you want her outside? Do you want her in?
I'll stand with her and watch her. This is interesting, and I'll work on it. And I'll let you know if I come up with anything. He's an alchemist. He's trying to figure it out.
Do not let her out of your sight. She's a wily one.
Grabs
Oh, okay. Well,
her arm.
I also have a man out there. I'll make sure he watches over.
All right, Zio. Show us that mighty discipline you talk about. And we make our way through.
All right. So You guys go in and you go into the chapel, and you find, like, you guys smelled ozone when the demon appeared, right?
Mm-hmm.
This smells like what would happen after ozone, like, sterilizes an environment. So you use one of the biggest uses of ozone is to get rid of smells, and then something smells like it is completely clean, and that is the smell that you get, like nothing ever existed in this space. And somebody can give me instinct if they'd like.
Got us. I got a +3. What
Oh,
can go
jeez.
wrong?
I got +2.
I roll with fear. I didn't roll with fear. Okay, that's a 17, 19 with hope for once.
17 plus 3 is 20.
Huh?
17 plus 3 is 20.
No, 11 plus 6 plus
Oh.
3. Yeah. Wait, no, it is 20.
that's fine.
20 with hope.
I just went with that.
Good catch, good catch, good catch, team.
So did you go into? Did you follow them?
Yeah, I guess I will follow them if
Me saving Chappie
My
in a
first-
bind.
my first attempt to walk through the fire didn't work. If you can't beat them, join them.
What was your role?
20 with hope.
I didn't roll. I was,
Oh, I didn't roll.
Okay.
were we supposed to roll?
If that's not high enough, let me know. I got something.
You perceive one thing and you sense another thing.
Okay.
You just witnessed Annalise go through the fire and be protected by it. You sense that then means that whatever that fire is maybe something Emperor related, I guess. And now you smell the leftovers of what happens when a demon arrives. Something in here is holding back something outside, and you are not alone in this space. And you see Annalise at the front looking up at, like, the statue of a god, and she's just looking at it from, like, a what is this type of perspective, completely oblivious to the surroundings and what is happening in this space.
Can I corrosive bubble the statue?
I was
Is it
gonna
the
ask if
statue
I
of
can
the-
bring it down, Frizz.
Sure. I mean, we can do that and that. It's huge. It's like a massive statue. So go. We'll start with you.
Yeah, I'm
Oh, one of their
going
gods.
at the charge and push method, real wrecking ball.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an attack.
Attack. Okay.
You're good at that.
Yeah. So is this an attack or a strength?
I'm
think
going to
it's the
say
same
do an
thing.
attack.
Okay.
Mm.
What? 25 with hope.
That's going to hit.
That it was
I
yeah.
hope so.
And then those aren't great, but 10, 12, 13, 16 damage.
16 damage. It severely cracks all the way from the base up to the top, and it starts to crumble. You're gonna corrosive blast it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
I was hoping to do it backwards. That way it's weakened when you say la vie.
Just get it, the bubbles all up in the cracks and just
Make it pop from inside. Hell yeah. That's a... Is this also an attack roll? Or what? Okay. 15, 18... Wait, no. Yeah, 18 with fear. If that's not high enough, let me know. I got something for you. That's gonna be... Where are you? Ooh, that's 12 plus 4, 16 points of magic damage.
And it crumbles.
Can I like pull Annalise away from it before? I don't know how close she is, but just to make sure she doesn't get caught in the.
Yes. And as it crumples to the ground, I will spend one fear, and activate the ambush using the sound of this crumbling to the ground.
This might be a bad time to say we're not alone. I imagine after we make it crumble, we do a conscript handshake. Like,
Chest bump.
yeah. Sends me flying.
I gain 2 fear. I had to spend a fear to activate that, so I gain 1 fear back. And then one of the assassins immediately attacks from the benches, from the shadows, leaps out and is going to attack Cole. And let's see if I can remember how to actually do combat after like 3 months away.
Oh, they're just assassins, no demons.
We're
Thank
going.
God.
We're going to actually. He's going to activate a feature.
Called Summon Demon.
He can then activate a number of assassins equal to his unmarked stress. So the other 2 assassins waiting in will also be activated here.
Ooh.
First attack. That's a 24 and a 15.
Both hit.
Both hit. Gain, as a reaction, I will gain the fear back that I spent. I maxed fear, and we have damage now. $16 total damage from both attacks. So it was a 7 and a 5, so 7, 9.
So 2 minor damages.
2 minor damage, yes. And then the spotlight goes to whoever else would like it.
Can we see where they're at?
Yeah, now you can see them. They've revealed themselves. They're all within close range of you. You two are in close range of each other. You're going to be also within close range. Not quite as close, but
Are they grouped? Is it just like a perimeter? How?
they're kind of like in a half arc around Big Boy here.
Does?
I go for the one who shoots first.
All right.
I just mad dash at him,
Yep.
and I'll just roll for an attack.
Yeah.
And that is 19 with hope.
That's going to hit.
All right, and now let's just do I think staggering strike. Spend 3 hope. Yeah. So I'm gonna spend 3 hope to do staggering strike on the main guy.
Okay.
And I still do my damage. That just means that he will have disadvantage on all attack rolls. The condition staggered. You too. 16, 20, 22, 23 points of damage.
Nice.
I'm just full body checking. I'm just shoulder running full force, just oof, like a bull.
And does the staggering give him a condition or anything?
Staggered, they have disadvantage on attack rolls.
Okay.
Is there a way I can? Because you said they're in the half arc, right? In front of us.
Yep.
First floor, second floor. I don't know how tall this
First
temple
floor.
is. First floor.
Yep.
Is there a way I can kind of move to the side to get at least a few of them within a line of sight? Like almost like a straight line.
Sure.
And I'm gonna use Death Grip. I'm also gonna use my Seaborn, the 2 I had from the 2 fears I just had. Oh wait, actually before, because I forgot, action rolls do things. I'm gonna mark a stress to also conjure my beetles. Well, my bubbles.
Okay.
And then I'll do Death Grip. So now it's a row. And that's a 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 with hope.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Okay. So the furthest target from that line of sight is now restraint, and everyone in between will take 3d6 plus 2, 3. Not great. Okay. 3, 4, 4, 8. 10 points of physical damage to everyone I got in that line of sight.
Very cool. So, describe what does this attack look like?
Sure. It's a new one. So as I grab my like bubble wand out of the gourd, I launch it out, and it's almost like a streak of bubbles just like spinning really fast, roaming through and hitting everyone until the end. And the last person, the bubble kind of swells, and now they're stuck inside a bubble.
I love that.
Do we know which one's the main guy that summoned all the others? Is he visually distinct?
I mean, maybe the first guy is probably the most important, but
Okay.
they look pretty similar. Where it's hard to say if like any one is a leader or not.
Okay. Well, the first guy who showed up, if I still have my eyes on him, I'm gonna do Voice of Dread.
Okay.
I'm gonna make a spell cast roll against them. On a success, they must mark a stress and become temporarily vulnerable.
Ooh.
All right, that is a 17 with hope.
Okay.
So
Works.
he marks a stress, and now he is vulnerable as well.
That's the same one that I just bodied, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm going to interrupt with fear, and he is going to attack you back. It will be a disadvantage. That is going to be 12.
Are you me or?
Wait,
It's going.
him? Okay.
It's
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm sorry, I did not.
Right. I believe that is minor damage. Yeah.
Okay, so it was 12 to hit.
Yeah, you hit.
Okay, so then we'll do damage.
My vision is 12.
20 physical damage.
I'm gonna mark an armor slot. Make that minor.
Okay. And then I'm going to spend another fear. The second guy in the middle there, who's not restrained, is going to attack you, Cassie.
Oh boy.
21.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, no, it's.
18 physical damage.
I'm going to mark an armor. Sure.
And then the last fear I will spend, and I will activate the last assassin, and then I will spend another fear to remove the restrained condition, as he like takes his dagger and like shreds open the bubble to remove it, and then the spotlight goes to whoever else wants it.
I'll use Hypnotic Shimmer.
Okay.
So you're also within close range of me. Good to know. Do you want to be within very close range of me?
What you trying to do, Cole? You want to get close?
So it's a 21 with fear against all adversaries within close range.
Sheesh. Yeah, that's gonna do it.
Yeah, basically, Chaplin just, I guess, well, he walks up to them, and then just a bright, glowing shimmering of colors just starts permeating through the air around it, like around them, I guess, like blinding the enemies, and they are stunned. Yeah, so it stuns target you succeed against and forces them to mark a stress. So they are all stunned, they mark a stress, and then while stunned, they can't use reactions, can't take any other actions until they clear the condition.
Oh, nice.
So I'm gonna start going to town on the guy I was already working on. I'm gonna roll an attack, and he's vulnerable, right?
Yes.
So I have
Yes.
advantage on
Yes.
him. 19 plus 3, 22 with hope.
That'll do it.
And then, let me see what the damage is, and then I'll decide if I want to combo strike, which is luckily how that works. I think I'm good, actually. That's crazy. 19 plus 6, 25 plus 3, 28 points of damage.
Wow. He like recoils with
So-
that massive hit.
I'm gonna grab his head, and then
Very
get him
cool.
back up there.
Love it. He's gonna spend a stress, and then or to activate, and then he's gonna use an action to clear the condition that you put on him, and then he can't do anything else. I'll spend another fear to activate the middle assassin, who's gonna attack you.
Isn't he also shimmered? Yeah.
Oh no, he's gonna have to spend. Is it stress or fear to?
It just says to clear the condition.
So all right, they have
They
to spend
can't,
fear
they
then.
can't take any other actions until they clear it.
Yeah. And then I have to spend another fear to activate the last guy and spend a fear to clear his condition. All right, so now y'all can go.
I'm gonna use Chains of Affliction against the main guy.
Okay.
Mark 2 stress to temporarily chain a target within close range. When he deals damage, the target of their attack reduces the number of hit points they mark by 1.
Okay.
So if he did like major damage, it would only deal minor.
You still go because you didn't roll anything.
Oh. I mean,
Like,
that was it. I got nothing else. I mean, that was it.
You want to boop
I
him on
can
the head?
attack, yeah.
Boop him on the head. Boop.
I will use a Blighting Strike. That is a 13 with hope.
That will miss.
All right. Well, so.
It was worth a try.
How badly do you want to hit?
yeah. How badly do you need to
Don't you worry
Okay.
about it.
I won't do anything.
DM gets a turn too.
He's going to, we're going to activate the guy that's on his death throes. And then he's going to mark a stress to also activate one other guy with him. He will first attack who's beaten on him. That's going to be a 13.
Hits.
That is a 17 damage.
Minor at least.
It drops it down 1. Because
Oh, well, it's already a minor.
Oh, so
target attack
No.
reduces the number of hit points
Wait.
they mark by 1. Does that make
Oh,
it 0?
Would that be 0?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then attack against you from the second guy. That is a 20
that hits
and
barely.
a 14 physical damage.
That's minor, but I'm gonna use because I have my beetles up. It drops it down 1 threshold, so no damage, and I'm gonna spend the hope to keep my beetles up.
Cool.
Because I love them. And by beetles, I mean bubbles.
And then Spotlight goes.
Do I still have them kind of like in a line?
More or less, yeah.
Sure. Death Grip Part 2.
Might as well.
Honestly, kind of rude at that dude. Okay, that's a 13, 14, 15, 16 with hope.
Nice.
16, does a
Yeah.
16 hit?
Mhm.
All right, so same thing. The last person in the line, so like the bubbles are shredding skin, you know, and the last guy gets bloop, bubbled up.
Do you want another d6?
No, I trust my dice. 6, 7, 11 plus, what are you? 11 plus 2, so 13 points of physical damage to everyone, and like the last guy who's being restrained too.
So the first guy, the bubbles like shred through him, and you just see he crumples to the ground from just so much blood loss. Mixes with the bubbles. There's like bloody bubbles that continue back. The last guy's covered in like a bloody bubble from his compatriots. And then Spotlight.
Keep wailing.
Go for it. Second guy.
Where are my 12s? They're there. It's cocked. Not better.
Little dice.
It's a little one.
It's had those.
9.
It's been years. Last time I've seen them was 2025.
It's with hope, but it is 12.
That is a miss. We will
I mean, kinda. But
It will cost me everything.
no, it's fine.
take the second guy who's going to attack you back. Or not attack you back, attack him. And then it's going to be a 23.
And this is no.
And I'm going to spend my last remaining fear to deal severe damage to you.
It goes down 1 because of my beetles. I'll spend the hope to keep that up, and then I'll mark a slap to make that minor.
You drained his fear.
Yeah, you
Big
did.
fan. You give it, then you take it away.
Wait, is this the main guy?
Oh, is this the chain guy?
No, it's just
No.
like there's like the first guy died, the second, and then there's the guy in the bubble.
Okay.
So is the guy not in the bubble? Is he restrained too?
No, just the guy at the end.
All right. So the chaplain's gonna mark 2 stress to remove hypnotic shimmer because it's only once per rest. and then I'll sub in Book of Norai, and then I'll use the Mystic Tether on the guy that's not in the bubble. Crit.
Ooh.
See, should have taken my dice.
Yeah, actually.
So I get a hope, and I get to heal a stress, right?
Mhm.
So, yeah, Chaplain just opens his book, mutters out some words, and then you see like a translucent chain just fly out the book and wrap around the guy. So they are temporarily restrained. They must mark a stress, and they're just temporarily restrained.
Okay. And was there damage to that?
No.
That's unfortunate because that would have you would have been able to take them with a crit. It's like the max damage plus your damage roll.
No, and then now I'll just back off, so I'm not within close range of him at all.
So how many of them are left?
Just 2.
Just 2?
One's restrained, one's in the bubble.
Oh,
Oh, they're both restrained then.
Yeah.
I'm gonna Blading Strike whichever one looks worse.
Kind of equally-ish.
I'll take one on the left.
Yeah, you have advantage on your attack roll because of the restrained.
Middle D10. Okay. Yes. All right, so that is a 17, 19 with fear,
Ooh. Nice.
and then that would be 7 magic damage. Oh wait, I lied. It's a D10 instead. Is it dead anyways? Okay, it's a D10 instead because it's eaten fear. I can read. That is a 19. 20 damage.
I actually gained 2 fear from your fear roll.
So 20 magic damage on that
Okay.
guy.
Very good.
I'm gonna keep the ball rolling. The one she just hit,
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Isn't it? Because that was with fear? Sorry.
I only have to go if it's a miss.
okay.
Yeah.
I thought. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm
Sorry.
I'm gonna go for the one that she just hit.
Yep.
And then that is. Oh, crit.
Wait,
Yeah, 2 tens, double
I've
tens.
never gotten a crit.
So how do crits work? I've never done that before.
So you're going to clear a stress, gain a hope, and you're going to take the max roll that your dice could roll, plus
Oh,
a
boy.
normal roll.
20 plus 12. That's so I'm at 32 before I roll.
Oh my!
You knocked this guy's head off.
We're reaching the point in math where we're using letters.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that we are allies with this guy.
You hit this dude so hard, I imagine his like head spins completely around like 360 as he drops.
So I rolled just for fun. So I was at 24 or I was at what, 34?
You said 32.
32. Okay, right. 32 44 53 54 58.
So not only does his head spin completely around, also his body does.
This is just a backhanded slap. I'm gonna throw that like this is a wind up. Bam! Just take him, spin him around.
And then this spins fast. His head spins faster than his body, which spins faster than his lower torso. By the time everything gets done spinning, his lower body just spins once as he collapses to the ground. Okay, well, I'm gonna take fear to interrupt here, and attack you back from the. Well, actually, no. I have to use another fear.
He's in the bubble.
To get out of the bubble. So.
Guys, I think we're winning.
Poor Tyler, no fear.
How the mighty have fallen.
That's okay. She'll roll
Stop it.
fear
Don't
and give you
say that.
twice.
Don't say that to me.
Back on us. Cole, you want to finish the other
Yeah,
guy?
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'm in a mood.
This is your job.
Another hope. I'm full on hope. So,
This is what we pay you for.
okay,
That's what we pay you for.
17 plus 3, 21 to 2 hit.
Mm-hmm. That'll do it.
Okay.
With hope, right?
With hope?
Yep.
14 plus 2, 16, 17 points of damage.
Very good.
Just another pop. Like I'm not really trying at this point. This is just a quick like. Yeah,
Like Baku.
You want
Yeah.
a piece of this? Boom! What about this? Boom!
I was surrounded. I am no longer surrounded. I'm slowing down.
Is he still up?
Mhm.
Oh. Cool.
I can blade strike him again. Just no more fear for you. That is a 21.
Yep.
And then that was with hope though. So I don't. So it's just 6s.
You lose 16.
I can do math. 8 magic damage.
All right. He's still up.
Oh, what? What is this guy? I'm gonna go up to him. What are you made of? And I'm gonna restrain him again.
And then I will also restrain him.
And then I will chain him.
He's like, all right. You just walk up. You put like a sock in his mouth.
We're taking this guy home with us.
Okay. You do get a fear out of me, but that's a 23 with fear. I mean, 21 with fear. Wait, plus 3, 24 with fear.
Okay. Yep.
And that'll be 2, 8, 10, 12 points of physical damage.
How does the final guy die?
He goes in the bubble, but this time I fill it with bubble solution, so he's suffocating slowly. I can't trust him to die from blood loss, clearly, or
Drowning, I think, is
trauma.
the only thing we
So
got.
now drown yourself.
That's brutal.
As he dies, you feel like and the fire begins to rush forward into the building, and it's spreading, and you have now like the building is like being engulfed in the fire. It seems that whatever energy was in the building was holding the Emperor's radiance back.
I'm not fireproof.
Same. I'm out.
Sure.
Can I grab Annie? Annie, are you okay?
Are you okay, Annie? Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
I'm gonna try to charge out the door as quick as I can, and I'm just gonna run through the fire,
Okay.
and I'm gonna try to clear like a light path.
Okay.
It'll mostly just be like a, yeah.
That's 20 feet.
I'll go for it. I'm charging.
For every 5 feet is a D4.
Oh, jeez.
Well, that's just 4 minor damage.
Can you carry Annie with you?
Yeah.
Can we all ride on your back?
Huh? What other
we
option
ride on
do
your
we have?
back?
You got something for her?
No.
Okay.
Well, if you follow right behind them, he's
I can like clear like
for you.
a small like there's gonna be like a small air bubble just because of my size that's just drifting over me
I'm
and
actually gonna
stay
use
behind.
Death Grip to launch myself from my position all the way to like the door.
If you stay
Guess I'm
behind,
following,
yeah,
yeah.
I'll run. I'll do it.
Close.
Yeah, I'll try to follow behind.
Shell.
And as you guys successfully get out, you nearly run into a civilian woman who's standing outside watching everything go down. And as you kind of like slow to a halt, she kneels in the street before you and bows her head and presses her forehead to the stone. Please, I didn't hide anyone. I didn't help them.
You didn't
Jeb?
help who?
I think she might be a heretic.
Who was that statue of? Who was that?
She is completely ignoring you. Like she's cowering in front of Cole. She doesn't hear anybody else.
Who's also smoldering. I picture you like a little bit.
Yeah.
Patches of flame still.
No, yeah, my skin is like on and off ash all over at this point.
Living up to your name.
Yeah.
Kind of.
So I'm just taking a deep breath, and I'm coming to terms with I think this person is a heretic. Can I roll an insight, see if I believe whether or not she didn't hide them?
Sure. This person is, by the way, not the same person as you originally saw.
Yeah.
This is like an old woman, like frail, who you almost just ran into. Yeah. But yeah, go ahead.
So what is insight? Is that instinct? Is that the...
frightening? Like you are a moving wall of fire.
I just ran through a wall of fire.
I've never seen a wall hit me.
It's with hope 13.
We just saw a wall hit some other guys.
15 instinct to try to see if she's lying.
For your hope.
Hope.
It appears that she's telling the truth. I mean, she might know what was going on in there, but she didn't have any part of it, from all that you can see.
I'm gonna just spit on the ground by her, and it's gonna sizzle a little bit. I'm gonna use my elemental breath to do that. So just keep your head down, don't make any noise, and leave.
You don't sound like them.
Like who?
The other monsters.
I'm a monster all of my own. I'm gonna grab a minor health potion, by the way. How much does that help?
It's one depends on the quality of it.
Minor.
It's I think a 1d4 plus 1 if I remember correctly. I could tell you in a sec. No, if it's a minor, it's just a d4.
Just D4. I can use anything at this point too. All right. So I drink it, and like the charred parts of my skin become a little less charred. Like think like the Wolverine thing, where it just sort of like the chars move in a little bit. What monsters?
The ones that protect the city.
Well, that's me now.
I'm sorry, Lord.
Which lord you talking to?
You. You protect the city now. You are the strongest.
Hell yeah, I am. I'm actually enjoying this a little bit too much at this point.
Oh yeah.
All right, does this come with like a title?
She doesn't look up, and she says, I don't know what you mean.
Lord Cole. I'm putting that on my next business card.
It's just Lorkel, nothing else. No phone number.
Yeah, just my
What's your
name. You don't have to bow to me if you don't want. A matter of fact, I don't think you're allowed to.
Monsters don't need reasons. They just demand truth.
I don't even demand that much. I'm a chained monster. I'm not my own free agent here. I answer that one.
I don't understand.
See the little pretty boy over there? He's the one yanking my chain everywhere. I do what he says.
At least let us not forget, like, he does wear a uniform with like medals and shit on.
Yeah. If you don't mind making a statue, perhaps.
That feels against the rules.
I know a vacant spot in there.
In the temple.
Yeah. As long as they put like my
They got
armor's
the stone
emblems,
for it.
right?
Smells fall down.
And you begin to like see people in the windows watching this interaction between you and this old woman, as like the church in the background is burning to the ground, in the middle of the day.
I'm not used to this amount of attention on me. And do they feel afraid of me, or
Give me instinct.
a 15 with hope?
You hear the whispers. Monster. The flame beast. That thing burned my brother. Though I killed my mother. Did you see it? Last night.
Oh,
It took our daughter. Stay away. It's too strong. Don't let it come near. Monster.
It thinks you're the demon.
They think I'm the
I
demon?
think so.
Holy
You
shit.
didn't kill that many
guys.
people.
That wasn't all me.
They think we did that?
They think I did that. Being a monster is not a new thing for him. That he is used to. But he's not used to this level of almost godliness, like reverence almost. Like there's honor with this monster for a change. So I'm actually just gonna like stand a little bit taller and just launch a flame into the air, because I can do that. So I'm just gonna spit flame right into the sky just as a show of power.
I'm gonna grab him and drag him away.
You see this happening, and your immediate thought is self-indulgence, and that he's being worshipped, which is heretical.
I'm right behind you, cheering you on.
Yeah. I don't know. What is the truth, though?
I'm standing center stage. I am soaking it in.
Tugging your arm, trying to get
Yeah.
you to move.
This is new for me, and I'm liking it.
Let him cook.
Literally.
Yeah, I'm putting on a show at this point. I used to fight in arenas, and when he won, he would make a show. So right now, he's celebrating. He's tearing shit up that's just around, throwing things. Like, I'm making a fool of myself in a display of power. Whatever's around, I'm breaking it.
Can I help? Like that's can I smash not? I want to put like bubbles as you punch to make it sound like an explosion every time you punch things. If you're okay with it.
I'm doing my full victory tour
It's a
here.
bad idea.
Everyone sees your punch explode things.
And
Hell yeah.
like comedic timing has its justice, or whatever, comedic timing being what it is. You're celebrating, and you turn around and being like, yeah! And you see like as you're celebrating, you see coming down an alleyway is a part of the cavalry detachment, or not the cavalry detachment, I'm sorry, like the infantry detachment, and leading it is Captain Utterborn of the second company. And he's just standing there.
I'm walking away.
Yeah, go! Hi!
And we'll take a 10-minute break.
Your ass is whooped.
Do you like money? Every time you go to a restaurant, you tip your server, right? They bring you a nice meal, cup of wine, great experience. You're there to celebrate anniversaries, birthdays, the whole 9 yard. Think of us as your servers plus. A new subscription tier system that depends on the kind of service you will get, depending on how much you tip us beforehand. So you want great dialogue, role play, a lot of the spectacles and the props that we use. Make sure to join the plus feature and subscription tier. If you want the basic campaign, very minimum role play, very monotone, no intonation.
I have no idea what he's signing us up for, but
Sign for Server Plus. Those are our only two options, actually. So depending on how much you enjoy what we do, make sure to tip us accordingly. And we will leave a mint on your receipt and a little thank you note as well, and ask you to come back again for next time.
Are you lonely? Do you need friends that like the same things that you like? I know it's lonely talking about Dungeons and Dragons with your cat. Come join our Discord. The link here, wherever it is. We're all hanging out, some more than others. There are.
don't message her. She won't be there.
I am chronically offline.
Until the week before the next session.
Who said that? We hang out. We're there. There you can talk to other people. You can share some art. You can make D&D characters. You can do whatever you want as long as it follows the rules.
You
Come
will
hang out. Come be our friends. We're fun, I promise.
You will find the love of your life on the Discord.
I can't guarantee that.
We can.
Well, if you can't find it on Discord, you can definitely find it on Reddit.
Yeah.
You see?
All right, so you turn to see Captain Grant Underborn. He's bloodied, exhausted, stripped of ceremony. He doesn't arrive with grandeur. He arrives in exhaustion. And he just stares at the chaplain.
What happened out there?
You say that from like where you are, where he is, and he's like,
Oh, I thought he was closer.
no.
What happened out there?
He alone steps out of his formation of like 40, 50 guys, and he comes slowly and
Is he on horse still?
no, I misspoke. They're walking foot soldiers. He comes slowly, sword like not sheathed, just in his hand, dragging in the dirt as he comes closer to you, and he stops about halfway.
Okay. Close the distance.
Chaplain, I need you to not freak out. Keep your composure.
Okay.
Lucerian has fallen.
How could you let that happen?
How could I let that happen? He was fighting at the front, and somebody used an artifact, and I don't know what kind, and it brought him down.
Like, is he dead?
Not dead, but he's fighting for his life. Something like this should not be able to be. A visage of the Emperor should not be able to be slain.
What kind of artifact was it?
We have it in our possession, but nobody can figure it out.
And how, the healers can't heal him?
We are seeking help from one of our other legions who is more into the arcane.
Who's in charge?
Well, myself and Malcolm are doing our best, and we were hoping that you would be able to come back to camp to see to the morale of the troops.
Yeah, we can at once. It seems that this city has fallen as is.
We are going to allow Herman and some of the other civilians to come in with conscripts and clean up and rebuild while we see to our own.
Good.
Right. I must go find the engineer, Lutheran, and bring him back. I'll meet you at camp in 4 hours' time. Should give you enough time to get back.
Yeah, I'm assuming so.
When you get back, confine the civilians to their quarters and do not let them leave.
Is there a reason for that?
Call it mistrust.
Do you have the person? What happened to the person that wielded this artifact?
They've been slain and are hanging at the front of the city. You'll see them when you leave.
Rightfully so.
All right, as you were, chaplain. And he turns and walks back to his line.
I have Annie take a picture of you. Then I'll show you the one with Cassie falling down next to you being.
I'll come and break them up and relay the news that
You're whipping it.
that our big boss has fallen.
Oh shit!
Oh.
Jesus.
Uh,
So what do we?
How?
Some kind of artifact. They're not able to identify what it is.
we have it. Like we have the artifact.
It sounds like it's back at camp.
All right.
Okay.
Do they want us to do anything?
We need to go back to camp at once and see that to the morale of the rest of the troops.
All we gotta do is show them these two pictures.
Gonna burn that.
Probably make sure that to see to Lucerian's safety. Sounds like he doesn't trust the civilians.
Yeah.
I look back at like Calliope and Annalise. Are they like hanging out?
Talking to each other.
Okay.
Where's Theo in all this?
He's right next to
Those two? Okay. I
Annalise.
want to make sure he.
Sneak away. Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go over to the three of them and say, "We are required back at camp immediately."
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah.
I just start walking. Pretend I didn't hear it.
Calliope was like, Cassie, what happened?
Don't worry about it. We just our time in this city has come to an end. Let's go.
Okay. And she grabs Annalise and they hold hands as they follow you.
Never make me lie.
I shall not tell a lie. That's like.
Theodore approaches. Care to fill me in,
No.
Chaplain?
It seems that Lucerian has fallen, is the news I received.
Curious. How, may I ask?
Some kind of artifact.
And I assume that they want someone from the 7th to look at this artifact?
How much do we trust this guy?
I mean, it depends on how much he vouches for him, but he's the envoy from the 7th sent here.
No.
Yeah.
You have shared interests.
I think it would make sense that someone from the 7th take a look at this artifact. It seems we haven't been able to identify it so far.
Well, our host should be arriving any day now. It would be an honor for me to assist in any way that I can. We cannot let word out to the conscripts. Of course, you probably know this. It would be terrible if they learned that one of our demigods could be slain. The Leech King will most certainly not appreciate his brother being laid low like this, so I will do what I can to assist while we wait. All right. Cole, are you okay?
Yeah. I'm doing great, actually. I was in high spirits before this hit. So we're putting a damper on things, in all honesty. But
A little
Yeah.
rude, actually.
couldn't have waited until tomorrow.
Laugh first and then break the news.
He puts his hand on your back. He's like, there, brother. When this is all over, back to the pits where you can be celebrated in glory and
Yeah. I'll be celebrated here. I'm coming back. I'm gonna make sure that statue is up.
so you guys head onward. As you guys get to the gate, there is a body that is hanging from like the gate as you guys walk through, and it appears to be like a human and like plate mail, and burned beyond recognition.
Is it safe to assume that was the guy?
Is there anything like interesting about the armor he's wearing, or like?
Yeah, go ahead and give me either instinct or just instinct will work.
That
You're mage, so you can do advantage.
say less.
Yeah, that helps. So that is 22 with hope.
At first glance, you would think that the armor that they're wearing is legionary armor. But upon closer inspection, maybe it's a coincidence, but it's too perfect. You haven't seen armor this perfect. It was crafted and honed and blessed in some sort of magical radiation that's coming off of it in order to ensure that whoever wielded and that weapon and wore this armor would find their target and be able to survive long enough to make sure that the blade found home.
What's the armor's condition in comparison to the body?
Much better, like sooty, but not like burned or anything, not oxidized. Like if you were to reach up and wipe it away, the soot would come off and it would be pretty well polished. A little bit of dings and dents here and there, but it appears, without having to even roll anything, somebody from your witch core probably burned the shit out of him, and that's how he died, just based on the fact that the armor is still pretty much intact with the body's burned. Annalise takes a photo.
Take a photo of
and Calliope takes a note of the body.
A photo of a heretic?
A heretic strung up and burnt up. Could be a threat, even.
Heretic nonetheless. Might inspire ideas.
The ideas of being strung up and burned.
So, yeah, I want to go see what the condition of the camp is. Obviously, like, talk to whoever's in charge there.
As you get back to the camp, it's empty-ish, as people are slowly coming back from the field. A lot of the conscripts are slain. Like, you probably got like a good solid quarter of the conscripts have been killed in this action. So the remaining like ancillary troops are reducing tents, rearranging, reorganizing to make it look like you no longer have an empty conscription area, that it's more full than it seems. You have armorers rebuilding, rearming, reforging. There is several wagons bringing loot back from the city. You have people digging mass grave pits for soldiers that have died. And Amelin Coven, who's the seer, is in the command tent when you arrive. You have not yet seen where Lucerion may be if he's in camp.
Evelyn, their name is Evelyn Coven?
Amelin, yep.
What is the situation here in the camp?
The information has been mostly contained, and we have, unfortunately, needed Warden Atreides to make some untimely disciplinary actions in your absence. We do not want this information getting out. Obviously, would cause chaos, and we need to be strong. We're still waiting for somebody from the 7th to be able to assist us in analyzing the relic. Unfortunately, I did not see this coming. I take it as a great oversight on my behalf that this possibility was not seen when I looked. There appears to be a great fog surrounding our commander. Something does not allow me to see when I get close to him. His future is undetermined and cloudy.
This are effects from the artifact?
No, this happened before. For the last several months, it's always been cloudy, always been difficult, required extra time to be able to ordain paths of advisement. Almost as if there are multiple outcomes, multiple paths that are not aligning, as if there are no single correct timelines. It's very confusing.
So how much do the men know about all this situation? Sounds like you've been keeping it contained.
Only the inner circle. There have been rumors who saw him slain in combat, but we have summarily executed those who were closest, and we have contained the rest to with threats of censure. We do not know how many of the conscripts have seen him fall. We were also considering executing all of the conscripts just to be safe, but even Warden Detritus thought that that might be a little too heavy-handed.
Could be a little extreme.
Demigods do not fall.
What about the civilians?
The civilians were not in the field at the time. I don't believe any of them saw when we brought him back to his tent. I think we're safe, but this must not be marked in history.
Make sure the civilians are confined to their tents.
Yes. No wandering eyes.
We have, what's his name, Theodore? Theodore here from the 7th. Maybe he could take a look at the artifact.
Oh, yes. I had forgotten that we had an envoy from the 7th. We just heard word that the host of the 7th will be here first thing in the morrow. Why don't we have him look at the artifact and see what he can tell us?
Yeah, let's go take a look at it.
Very good. Perhaps your mages could join us. Yeah.
Yeah. I assume that. Yes, they'll join us.
I thought it was me.
You cast fist.
Cast fire.
Cole, would you do us the honor of keeping the civilians contained, organizing that?
Yeah, I can do that.
Thank you, Sergeant.
They've been enough of a problem to keep alive. Hate for it to go to waste.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. I'm not too hurt about it, except my friend died. That wasn't great. But that's what we signed up to do.
It is.
Show him the picture.
Oh.
No, I meant the civilians, but yeah, you can show
no.
the seer the picture.
You want to see me kicking ass?
Sure.
Sure.
Here's a
Man,
picture of me
then-
celebrating after the people all feared me because I destroyed their church.
You know, I have mixed feelings about having the civilians with us, but it is very important for the Emperor's work that we never forget. So cherish this memory.
I'm never
Keep
forgetting
it close.
this.
And maybe next time, or at least capture something other than you punching the air.
Oh, yeah.
It's fire. They can show it to the civilians. Buy a lot.
We're out.
Conscripts.
Yeah, I'll go round up the photographer and the poet and
Very good.
make sure they don't see anything.
Very good. Appreciate it. You three head off to Lucierion's tent. And by all appearances, he's in and working. They've made it so it looks like the campfire in his tent is on and it's billowing as if dinner is about to be served. His war armor is freshly polished out front on display for everybody. But inside the tent, when you walk in, is Archivist Irene Teledor, who is his personal advisor, as she sits at the head of his bed, looking at him, and you see that Lucerion, the color is completely drained. This godlike radiant color that shone out, made people feel humbled in his presence. He is now nothing more than almost as gray as this tabletop is, as the life escapes from him. He's sweating profusely as his eyes dart back and forth as if he's dreaming. and he has slow, shallow breaths. At the foot of his bed is a table, a wooden table, and on that table is an ornate dagger. And it is wide at the hilt, and it tapers down as a slight curve, and the handle is inscribed with bronze etchings in the shape of leaves from trees. And the blade is still contaminated with the blood of Lucerion that is turned black as the poison that laced this blade mixes with his blood.
That's the blade that did it?
It's the blade that did it.
I'm gonna take a closer look at it like I did with the armor. Take a peek.
Give me instinct with disadvantage.
What's it up? D10 as well? Or still?
Actually, no. Give me it with advantage.
Mhm.
And
Oh, that was a 2. 16.
with
With
fear?
hope.
With hope? Okay. It's still a little too abstract for you to decipher. There is no magic on this blade, or none that you can detect, and you're not an alchemist. So the poison remains a little too mysterious for you.
Can I try?
Sure.
I'm an instinct kind of person. Can we use the 1 point from Seaborn? That's not good. Marcy. That's a 17 with fear.
How do you
That's not enough. Let me
how
know.
do you inspect this blade?
Start looking at.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm using my witch intuition for it. So I'm leaning a little closer to it, trying to expect it. I'm not touching it. It feels like kind of like not something I do just yet.
This is the first time this session.
No, it's like the third.
It's the
Third time this session?
We've lost a couple pencils to the floor, and we've just been grabbing new ones.
I've had like throw pencils at them.
I picked this one back up.
I still have one down there.
I'm less interested in the poison, as much as I am on like the blood, the dagger itself, the ornate, like patterns. Just trying to see if any of it aligns with my wanderings within nature as a cowboy and shit.
Do you touch the blade at all? Or the handle or anything?
When no one's looking.
Do you taste
Like if there's
it?
a moment where everyone's like talking, I'm like,
Uh-oh.
How much stress do you have? Can you take?
all of it. I can take 5 more.
You take 6 stress.
Okay.
So all of your stress is gone, and you lose an HP.
Damn.
As you touch it, time slows to a fraction. What was your roll on your instinct?
17.
Time slows to a fraction. And you don't discern anything about the blade, but because you touched it, as time slows and you look up,
Why am I?
as you look at Cassie, you see a ghostly visage of the demon that you fought embracing her. In a cloudy, shrouded mist. And it's embracing her in a creepy, intimate way.
Caressing the cheek.
Oh,
Yes. It is embracing her. It's got its hand around her as it's caressing her cheek. and it lays its head. With its right hand, it strokes down her arm.
What a freak.
You release your hand from the blade. Time is normal.
Is that consensual?
Is there any time before I let go of the blade where I can look at the photo of Annalise on the ground?
Or me?
Yeah.
Oh, not Annalise, Cassie, my bad, yeah. You know, when Cassie was passed out
yeah.
during the fight. We have a
Passed
picture
out.
of it.
You look at the photo as you touch the blade,
Yeah.
and you see the ghostly visage of the demon. She's on the ground, floating above her, nose to nose, hand on her left thigh.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Like this. And then there's an energy being transferred from its hand to her body.
I throw up. Like, as soon as I let go of the blade, I throw up.
Oh, are you okay?
Do you hit the Emperor? Wouldn't necessarily Emperor, the general?
Just a minute. I look up at Cassie. Throw up again.
Are you okay? What happened?
Oh.
I'm gonna take him outside because take him outside just so he can. If he can throw up more, we'll do it outside the time.
No, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Are you sure?
I'm actually a little hungry. It had less to do with. Oh, that was bad.
Are you
oh
sick?
God. This blade. It's a pervert.
The blade is a pervert?
Hey, I don't control the whims of like magic.
Did you touch it?
No. If it's heretical to do so. Otherwise, no. I'm looking at Chappie.
Explain yourself.
I was, when I was trying to get in touch with the blade, you know, esoteric magic to esoteric magic, there was a vision, and let's just say, Cassie should file a complaint to someone soon.
I'm dragging him outside. Just grabbing his arm and taking him. What?
I think I'm stronger than you. Am
Well, I don't care.
Okay. I am nauseous.
You just throw up like 3 times.
You drag me, I throw up a little again.
On me?
No, just like rapid movement.
Drag him outside and like around the corner. What was that? What?
Do you think someone's gonna have to clean that up, or are they gonna make me
No,
clean it up?
I'm not supposed to throw up. What did you see? When you file a complaint?
You know that thing we fought?
Very well.
You know how you passed out, like, kind of immediately? Almost, actually, at the very start of it?
No, that was... No, I lasted a little bit.
Listen, I got a picture.
Why do you have a picture?
I'm going to spend a fear. Something inside you becomes angry.
I don't care what you saw, or what you think you saw, or whatever your opinions on my abilities are. Just tell me. What you... Don't throw up.
I won't.
Just tell me.
I don't know what it was about you just now. It made me a little nauseous. But that thing we saw, that fought, you passing out, it's in you now. I thought it would have been in Kaleidi's keep because of the way
Calliope?
it choked her. Whatever, the poet. Annie's on thin ice too, but I'm fucked, and it's your fault.
Do you enjoy making things up?
No. You think I want to be in this legion? I want to be with witches who would have understood me. But now I have to explain forces beyond all of us in ways
There's nothing
that are...
to explain because you didn't see anything.
Okay, sure. If I throw up again, just know it's your fault, and I will be looking. I will put it in the bubble and have it fly to your
Ew.
camp.
Do you do that?
Why not?
Who?
So, you're asking me to explain myself? I'm doing that. don't forget, we have the same rank. We're both in the inner circle. Actually, if anything, I think I put a little more rank on you out of seniority. So, next time you want to come at me, listen to what I'm saying. It was the thing we fought. It's fucking me now. Because if Annie and Kaleidoscope are on thin ice, they're acting suspicious, they'll look at us, and you're on thin ice, which puts me on thin ice.
We had nothing to do with each other.
Sure, yes, the new mages from the inner circle have nothing to do with each other.
What happens to each of us independently does not fall on the other.
Yeah, if only it ever worked that way, huh? What a beautiful world we'd live in.
I don't know what you think you saw in which, first of all, did you touch it? That knife?
If I say yes, would you believe me? Would you even believe me?
Probably, because you do stupid shit like that all the time.
Okay. You see? So, I'm a liar, I'm not a liar. I'm seeing things, I'm not seeing things. So, which one is it? Cassie?
I walk away. I just go back to my own.
As you walk away, what does your character feel in their heart?
Fear more than anything.
Give me an instinct check.
Whole point. 15 with fear.
If that's not
No,
enough.
sorry, 16 with fear.
If that's not enough, let me know, Tyler.
Can you help me out here after I yell at you?
Check your Discord messages.
God.
The audience will see this, nobody else will.
Secret. All right, audience, you know what to do. Get in the comments. Let us know.
Sure, okay. Still a little fear. But I just leave him alone and I go do my own thing.
Making eye contact with me is crazy.
So you just leave? You just walk back?
I'm
to
out,
the
yeah,
path?
no.
You're out. Do you come back in?
Yeah, I come back in.
What was that about?
Chappie, can we talk?
Yeah, I'm open.
Sure. See her a moment, and I'll step out with Chappie. So, theoretically, would touching the blade put me closer to heresy?
Probably.
'Cause I saw Cassie touch it.
You saw her touch it? When did she touch it?
When she was looking at it.
Why would she touch it? Just when she's examining it?
Yeah. It could have been an accident. It looked a little intentional, but
Well, she was trying to figure out what it was, so I don't know if touching it would be really that bad.
okay, so it's no longer heretical.
Well, I think if you were trying to like touch it to use it, I think it's an item of heresy. So then,
So I touched it.
all right, did you touch it or did Cassie touch it? Who touched it?
No, I didn't use it for heresy. I used it. I was touching it while examining it. And I did see something.
What did you see?
You remember when you promoted me out of conscript?
Yeah.
You remember what she told me that day?
That you deserve the role?
Remember that. A man is only good for one nose, and I took mine, right? So, as things start to happen, remember. So the thing we fought, I saw it on Cassie. I looked at the photo. It was on her there too. That thing we could not see.
I thought we killed it.
Wait, no.
We didn't kill it?
That thing disappeared before we...
Exploded into fireworks.
But did we find a body?
Do false gods leave a body when they die? I don't know.
In my
either.
experience, things that bleed usually do.
Fair enough. So it's on Cassie, is what you're saying?
Something like that. There was a bit of a fog, and then very compromising poses, which I can have the artist draw for you later if you really are so inclined. But just know it was enough to make me throw up. but I'm not sure if that was the, the magic or the position. Two things could be true, honestly.
So what do we do? Do we have to perform an exorcism?
I think maybe it's time that you vouch for me to change legions. We could have a bigger in with the witch corpse, and that might also help with any exorcisms that need to happen.
So you're saying if I vouch for you to join the 7th, then you will remove this demon.
No, I'm saying this is beyond my magic.
So then what are you offering me?
If you have someone who knows our legion within the 7, then of course there's good faith, right? And there'll be pull and asking for support with this in a way that doesn't come across as execute the heretic.
Maybe something can be worked out. Let me think on it.
Okay. Just know it's not like we have a lot of time. And like I told Cassie, we just joined the 7. I know Cassie. I know Cole. And you rescued Cole and I both. So when shit hits the fan, they'll look at us first, Cole second, you third.
I don't think we have much to worry about. I mean, we're not involved in any heresy. If something has infected Cassie, we can deal with it.
Okay, chap, they literally just threatened to execute the entire conscript just for witnessing. Now you find out that the new recruits within the inner circle, one of them's possessed, and you're leading the charge. What do you think happens then?
Real quick, when he says that, like, conscripts have no rights. Conscripts are not human. Most of them are prisoners.
Mm-hmm.
He's expressing some fear because he was a conscript,
Right.
but he has nothing to worry about.
Yeah, I think you might be blowing this a little bit out of proportion a little.
Sure.
Like you said, we're part of the inner circle. We are the top dogs here. We are the ones running this, essentially, or going to be running this.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to come after us. I mean, we fought valiant against the demon. We don't know all of its tricks yet. If it's doing something to us, then we will figure out a way to defeat it again.
Are you familiar with how to tame foam sheep?
No.
It's an easier process if you have a seahorse, but the important part is that you cover the perimeter, and whatever you do, you make sure that sea wolves don't get behind the gate. Just remember that. Are we leaving the gate open? And with that, I'll walk in.
I'll follow.
You walk in as Theodore is inspecting the dagger, and he's holding it in his hands.
Theo?
Yeah, from the 7th.
Does he gag?
What's that?
No.
He's holding it in his hands. He has collected using kind of like a wand, but it's way smaller, some of the blood, and he puts it in a vial. He mixes something in with it in the vial, and then he drinks it.
Drinks
He
it?
drinks it.
He drinks the blood?
And the poison?
And then he closes his eyes, and his head sinks. Mm-hmm.
Full-bodied.
Hints of umami.
Ooh, savory wine.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. I see. It appears as if somebody has crafted the perfect weapon. You see, their demigods are demigods because they're not gods. They're almost gods. They can be slain, but it is incredibly powerful magic that would need to be used to slay a demigod. Magic so powerful that only a god would be able to wield such magic. But there are other ways that one could kill a god, by knowing that their exact physiology and their exact blood alchemical makeup, one could, for example, if somebody were, for example, to be able to resurrect after death, somebody could destroy every atom in that demigod's body so thoroughly that it doesn't even exist to be able to be brought back. But you would need to know what makes them. You would need to know what magic they are. You would need their blood. And you would need to craft a specific poison designed to calculate and destroy their specific blood chemical makeup. Whoever created this poison had access to Lucierion's blood, and then they had the means and the knowledge to create a poison that could only kill Lucerion.
How'd they get access to his blood?
What is happening now is he is being taken back to his making. And he must choose to be unmade or made again. But I fear he cannot do it alone. I fear that we are in such a precarious place in a hostile land that the influences of his father are too far lost to us. That what was in that city will manipulate his mind and corrupt him and turn him and encourage him to die. And if that were to happen, it would prove, my guess is that it would prove that demigods can be slain, which risks undoing everything that all of these hosts have come to this continent to achieve. I don't possess the magic to do it alone, but with assistance, I think I have a good enough understanding of this process where I could help guide him to the proper path. Let me ruminate on it, and we will convene later this evening and undergo this process before it is too late. If we do not act, I fear he will not live to see his brother arrive tomorrow.
Okay. So meeting adjourned until later this evening?
Yes, I think so.
Theo, any magic on that dagger? You're holding it kind of easy.
It is an arcane dagger. It appears that, from what I understand, with my DM automatically rolling a critical success on so that he can more dump, it possesses the magical ability to ensure that its mark lands home, altering time, altering perception, showing its wielder the quickest path to the goal that they have. I fear whoever wielded this dagger could never have missed.
Theo, was your guidance if you wanted to be present too? Shappy, you too? I'd like to commune with it, if that's okay. Get some more clarity.
Sure.
Like, if we're worried about anything, you can be there.
Sure. We're going to zoom back and we're going to zoom in on Cole. While this is happening, Cole goes to the civilians that were with you guys and take them back to their tents. What do you do when you're either on your way to taking them back or once you get there?
So once we get there, I imagine, is it like a tent situation?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm inside the tent with them, and I'm gonna turn to Calliope, and this is gonna be a strange look, but he looks nervous. And he walks up to Calliope, and he's like, hello.
Sergeant Cole.
I was wondering if you could help me with something.
Of course.
So, when I've signed my name in the past, I just memorized the 4 letters, the K-O-A-L.
Mhm.
But recently, I've been wanting to change my title a little bit. I want to write it down. Can you help me write and spell Lord Cole the Fire Beast?
So we're gonna distract him.
Oh, Cole, you don't know how to spell.
Not well. Also, I don't think I can hold a pen right. I sort of just grip it, and it sometimes just sort of snaps. I don't know if
And she holds her hand out to take your hand, and she folds your hand over, and she goes, Cole, you are so strong, but sometimes the greatest strength is restraint. And she takes her personal quill and she puts it in your hand, and she ever so carefully folds your fingers correctly over it.
This is intimate.
Do you feel that, Cole?
Not a lot.
That's all it takes.
All right.
And she goes, here, I'm going to give you the power of insight and knowledge so that you can write whatever you want.
I'll just have to memorize the letters.
Let's start with the letter A. And she starts to teach you how to read,
Hell yeah.
how to write.
I can't tell if this is Tarzan or Beauty and the Beast.
This is gonna be a short rest for you.
Perfect.
As you're short resting, you can take the benefits of a short rest, and Annalise takes a photo of the two of you learning to write together.
Hell yeah.
And in that moment, you're a celebrated monster. You are achieving all of your goals. You are, you came from a place in your childhood where people didn't even know that you were sentient, that you were essentially like dogfighting, to being the person that you are now, and this frail woman that you could snap her neck with your pinky finger is showing empathy and teaching you. What does Cole feel deep down underneath the excitement of being Lord Cole?
Got a girlfriend.
Yeah. So this is the first time he's ever been taught to do anything other than kill. This is sort of his first tangle with creation, almost. Like, he is writing letters, and it's the first time he's ever made anything. And he thinks back to when he gave the gauntlets to Calliope and she hugged them, and how he hadn't felt a hug except for one other time, and he immediately pushed it away. And this level of intimacy and being able to like create for the first time, he's wondering if he could be more than a wrecking ball. And this is one of the first times in his life he's ever asked that question.
Annalise comes over and she asks you a question. Cole, are you here to protect us?
I'm here to die. And hopefully that means protecting you.
I don't want anybody else other than Lord Cole to protect us. Do you mind if I...
The Fire Beast.
Do you mind if I go to sleep?
No.
Will you be here?
Yeah, I'd prefer if you slept, actually. You're easier to watch that way. You tend to wander off.
Curious minds. And she curls up next to your shell and falls asleep.
Yeah.
We go back now to what is happening with you. You are going to commune with the blade. What does that do and how do you do it?
With the blade.
Is it a feature you have?
Yeah. Once per long rest, I can do this. At a moment of like downtime, but not necessarily a rest. So with the blade in hand, I start walking into the water like last time until it's like completely submerged under. And I'm there for a long time. It's almost like I should drown. And actually, part of the process, I am drowning. until I black out, and then the visions start coming in, and I get to ask one question. And my question is, who made you? To the dagger. And I got to roll a d6 equal to my instinct, and I pick one of those d6s. 1 to 3, I taste a flavor, smell a scent, or feel a sensation relevant to the answer. 4 to 5, I hear a sound or see a vision relevant to the answer. And 6, you physically experience a scene relevant to the answer as if you were there. So I'm going to roll you 3 times. 1, 3, and 1. So I'm going to pick, actually, all of them is the same. So I can either taste a flavor, smell a scent, or feel a sensation relevant to the answer.
You feel sorrow. That's not going to be very helpful to you, but maybe at a later point you might be able to piece more of that together. But you feel like the pain of sorrow, like somebody created this artifact and it cost them something. As you're coming back out of the water, do you guys wait or do you guys kind of hang out in the
I'm
tent?
out of here.
Okay.
I dipped.
You dipped.
I'm hanging out in the tent with Theodore, so I'm assuming he's still there.
Yeah.
Because I also kind of want to ask him a couple questions.
All right. So we'll get right back to that. As you come out of the water,
At first, I kind of like a dead man drowned, so I'm floating in the water until I...
two cloaked figures wait for you when you come out of the water.
Cloaked?
Cloaked.
Can I see their face?
Mm-hmm.
What does their face look like?
They're lieutenants in the Legion.
Okay. Like, the cloaks, do they got the insignia to prove it?
Hmm?
Okay. At ease. I say as I'm coughing up a mix of vomit and, like, seawater.
Going up today.
Well, it's a leftover, and seawater.
Oro, what do you know of the Fellowship?
Huh?
The Fellowship.
What do I know about the Fellowship?
Yeah.
No, I'm asking DM, do I know
Nothing.
anything?
Well, give me knowledge.
Cool, I'm bad at this. Cool, I am bad at this. That's a 9 with hope, minus 1, 8.
8.
Do get a hope, though.
So you only know it, and in that you thought that it was something that was looked down upon.
I'm a conscript, and even I know that that's usually not a good thing.
We think it would be of your interest to come see what the Fellowship really is.
Okay, but who am I talking to? You know me. I don't know you.
Don't use our names.
Okay, what identifiers do you use?
We're of the Legion. We are your brothers. They chose us because we are of the same core.
This core?
Mm-hmm. The Witch Core.
Mm. Do I know that? Can I piece that they're from the Witch Court?
Not by the cloak. The cloak disguises like you could innately tell now that they're being secretive and that they tell you all this information. Now you piece together the reason that they're wearing cloaks and that they don't want to give their name is because of the anonymity of all being one and their individual identity not mattering.
Okay, let's walk and talk. I've drenched, a little hungry.
All right, so you're gonna walk. We'll right back over to
I
here.
was joining the Freemasons.
Theodore, I just have a quick question, if I may.
Of course.
That demon that we fought. Have you ever heard of a demon possessing somebody? And what would you do if
I'm
it
gonna
did
be
possess someone?
honest that's more of a like an 11th host or maybe even the sixth host kind of question, but I mean, there is no real history on possession. Theoretically, it is possible. Magic does exist to control people, but this is all new land for us, if you will.
So there really is no like precedent for how to handle that kind of situation.
Correct.
Do you know anything about the statue that Sergeant Cole and Oro destroyed?
It appears to be, from my understanding, one of the old gods that we've come here to purge.
Gotcha. Okay. And that's really it.
Based on my understanding, it could be maybe the Sorrowed Queen or the Stormfather, maybe even the Shepherd of Waves. Since we're on the coast, it's quite hard to tell.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that's really all the questions I really had.
Of course. What is Cassie doing?
Going back to my tent, or where I sleep at night, and I'm going to check out the burn mark on my thigh just to see like what it's looking like, what I'm dealing with.
The burn mark on your thigh is almost like the circle where the choir was singing, but without the outside circle. It is just a very light red scar of symbols, and that create a circle and a pentagram, but with an extra, whatever you call it, the things in it, triangles or whatever they're called. And that's what your scar looks like. It gives off heat, but does not hurt.
Okay, interesting. And I don't know what what the symbols mean, or okay.
Yep.
Well then, put my pants back on and I ignore it.
As you do that, your eye catches the letter that you have underneath your bed.
Yeah, fuck it, I'll open it.
All right. You open this letter, and it reads, "To our beloved Olympier, the Emperor's grace finds even those who wander. We do not understand why you would turn from the name that raised you, whether out of shame, pride, or some misguided desire to prove your worth among the lowborn. But know this, the flame remembers its children, even when they would rather be forgotten. Your absence has wounded us, yet even so, when words finally reached Solvard that a Lieutenant Caspian Lapointe had joined the fourth host under the Dawnbreaker, your father could not bring himself to burn the record. Don't try to find out who turned you in. Don't try to find out who knew. It was obvious to your father and I. A powerful mage, and we couldn't be so much prouder than you. I wept to hear that you had found a place in the Emperor's army. I mean, your father wept because he feared which parts of that army you chose. There are whispers, my child. Whispers that Lucerion the Radiant speaks words not his father's. They may call him merciful, visionary, and almost human, but I call him dangerous. The flame shines brightest before it devours. You always loved the dawn, Olympier. Be careful whose light you follow. Your brother writes from the fifth host. He tells us the Dawnbreaker soldiers march beneath a new banner, a rising sun split into 12 silver shards. They say it honors the saint lines, but I fear it mourns them. If you do receive this letter, know that we have not forsaken you. If you cannot return, then remember who you were before fire took your name. Do you still dream of the Solarium? If you ever see that light again, run. May the Emperor's grace guide you, and may his silence forgive you. Hilary de Riviere, your mother."
Oh boy.
I'm going to read it
again a couple more times. Just try to get all the important parts, and then I will burn it. Don't do that.
So you walk with these two, and they walk to like a corner of the camp, and you see like someone has put up like a mirage where everything looks to be normal, but then you walk through not even expecting it, and you walk through and you see that you've been led into a tent, a massive tent, private and shielded from prying eyes. And inside it, you see dozens of cloaked figures. And give me an instinct.
I feel a little underdressed. I'm gonna burn my one. Oh, 14, 15, plus 3, 18. What's fear? Check it, my one.
As you're looking around, you do clock some familiar faces. Warden Atreides Kale is here. First Praetor Sir Malcolm Vane. And Amelin Coven, the seer. None of them appear armed. They're not chanting. Everything is silent. And you see, as you walk in, that they're gathered around a book. And you recognize it immediately. You haven't seen it since before you became a conscript. In fact, what was taken from you caused you to endure so much pain and become a conscript is that book, the very same. It was deemed heretical. It was deemed dangerous. And you walk into this.
I get as close as they allow me to. There's a brief moment I'm a little in shock. Is that... I'm asking like the two that are next to me. Is that what I think it is?
They part, and Sir Malcolm Vane comes up to you as you say that. Yes, it is.
The thing that y'all threw my life away for? You bring it back to me?
I had no part in that.
No, you didn't. You were just part of the bigger whole, right? Following your orders, doing what you had to, ripping me away from all I knew.
Listen, Oro, we brought you here because we knew that this was a pain in your past. And we brought you here because we knew that you were right. We know that now. The Emperor lied. Not about unity, but what about existed before?
I was 19 when y'all arrested me. I, to this day, don't know how to read. I was right about nothing. Let's make that clear. The only thing I was right about was my hate for this process. But I took my oaths. A man is good for one oath, right? So what would you have me do now? Forsaken what I learned to be here?
We ask nothing of that. We simply wish to honor the Emperor in the way that he wants us all to honor him. He asks us to remember and to not forget, and then hides this information. What greater way to honor the Emperor than to remember all, even what he would have you forget?
No, because he's a liar, he's worthy of honor. Which one is it? Because I'm tired of everyone telling me two different things, trying to make it all make sense.
if the Emperor is a liar, Oro, then how does that make you feel?
This is too complicated for me. Right now, all of you seem to be playing some cruel joke. That's the only way I can rationalize your intent to bring me to the very damning evidence that threw my life away to begin with.
Oro, it's about brotherhood.
I'm a brother now.
You've been a brother. Since,
Just hearing that. Sorry.
since Chaplain brought you from conscription, he saw the potential that you had. And what we ask you now is not to forgive, not to forget, but to remember that the Emperor betrayed you. He caused you that harm.
Where's the chaplain now? Is he here?
No, the
No.
chaplain would never understand.
So, I'm a brother. I'm supposed to feel kinship here. And the only person who saved me from what could have been me being threatened to be executed isn't here? What kind of fucked family is this?
We were hoping that you would be able to bring him into the fold, to get him to understand and to see.
This is all so much. I'm missing the part in which it's relevant to me. What does this benefit me for? Everyone knows the fellowship is looked down on, and it offers me absolutely nothing to be here, right?
Well, what if the fellowship wasn't looked down on?
Okay, you're asking me questions that are above my pay grade.
Just to consider what you've seen.
What do you want from me? I got Chappie.
Join us, help teach us, help uncover the truth of the worlds that we lost.
And what do I get out of this arrangement? You've already taken one life from me. You expect me to... You want to take this one too?
Companionship and friendship.
I have code for that.
And so be it.
Can I see it?
No,
The book?
no.
Why?
Because you've forsaken the Brotherhood.
Okay, so you... Let me... First prayer, right? First...
Mm-hmm.
Top of the
Second
line.
in command.
Second in
underneath this
command.
area.
You bring me here, show me a life thrown away, expected what, grace and forgiveness off the bat, and then when it didn't go your way, you threw a tantrum.
Why? Oro, you seem to hold hostility in the wrong place. It was not anybody in this host's fault that you ended up here. You ended up in a system that assigned you. Nobody here, the people that did this to you are still in the Emperor's realm, in whatever region that they took you from. Do not hold hostility towards those that would attempt to make your life better.
How do you get this book?
That is none of your concern.
If I join, will you help me get the people who did put me like this?
Yes.
I'll think about it.
That's all we ask. And he opens the gate. What does Oro feel in this moment, being confronted with his past in such a beast? I'm going to be honest, I'm going to say it, a disrespectful way.
I am, as I walk out, a lot of big emotions. I actually go into the water again to cool off. And I am slaughtering every aquatic life that comes around me, blowing them up with bubbles, my bare hands,
Do you still have the blade?
Hmm?
Do you still have like the blade?
Yeah. No, I asked Theo and like Shappy to come with me if they wanted to like make sure things, were above board. They didn't want to. I don't use the blade for this. Actually, does the blade call to me? Okay, then yeah, no. This is just complete rage. Wait, you said I was disrespectful?
No. They were
Yeah,
disrespectful.
I was about to say, hold on.
That's how you said, is the blade calling to me? No? Okay, I won't. But if it did,
What if it did? I might have.
I just clicked. I was like, wait, was I disrespectful to these? Couldn't be me.
They probably saw it as really disrespectful.
Yeah, they did. There's no doubt on that. And then only after there's a small like surface of the water that's like red and a bunch of dead fish up, then I walk out, throwing up sea water again because I definitely stayed there to the point of like almost drowning. And then I go to my camp drenched. Actually, no, I find Cole. My bad. Actually.
So you go find him. Okay, so you do eventually make your way to him, and you walk into the tent and you see Annalise asleep against him and Calliope teaching him how to write.
hey, how you doing?
I'm drenched. Like there is a pool of water in the whereas
Down in the bath?
No. Also, never thought I'd see the mighty Cole lose to a piece of parchment.
Look, I almost got the letters down. The problem is that there's a big tear in the paper wherever
No,
the
I could see
quill
that.
touches. But like if you read the tears, it almost says Lord Cole the Flame Beast.
Is this anger? Are you angry at the parchment?
No. I'm trying my best.
I needed that. Thank you. Cole, you remember our conscript days?
Yeah. Bashing skulls, people telling us where to go, people dying.
And look
Good
where
old
you are.
days.
If you could make the people who put you in that space to begin with suffer the way you would want them to suffer, would you take it?
I see, that's my parents we're talking about. And if it wasn't for the way they raised me, I wouldn't have been strong enough to get to where I'm at.
So you wouldn't call this life suffering?
From the moment I was born, my life's been suffering. But I'm fed now. I sleep in a bed, not a cage. That's nice. This is a step up for me.
So if you could live a life where you were never a conscript to begin with, you wouldn't take it?
I always wanted to be a fisherman. One of the deep sea ones.
You know, we would have been friends even in that life.
Yeah. What do you say? Once this is all over, once we fix up the big guy, you and me, go 50-50 on a boat.
That sounds nice.
Hell yeah. And I'll write the name on the side.
The vision of a ship with a hole punctured as the...
I'm learning to be gentle. I'm working on it. So I think I'd use like a paintbrush or maybe like a broom and like a big
The Emperor's
bucket.
light will be
Yeah.
extinguished before you master the gentleness.
Yeah. We'll get a boat. Big one.
Yeah. I've always been more partial to riding seahorses, but yeah, you can be a boat. You can be on a boat.
I can't hold my breath that long.
No, they go above water.
Oh. How many would it take to carry me?
At least 5.
I think I'll go with the boat.
Thanks, Cole.
You want me to sign that photo now?
No, you're gonna break it.
I'll work on it. I'll go back to practicing.
So, the seance of sorts is going to take place this evening. is there anything else anybody would like to do before you reconvene to attempt to save Lucerian's life?
Garen will record the events in what happened in his book. He'll, for like the statue portion, I'll just say unknown statue was broken by Cole and Oro. Record the 3 assassins.
You hear a voice distant. The same voice when your book talked to you in your dreams, but it asks you a question again. Do you wish to be our herald? We can show you the truth.
And he'll just write. Yeah, he'll keep recording, and then he will write one sentence, a question, and just say, "What is the truth?"
Okay. Nothing answers. Unless, does Garrow sleep at all, or does he just ask the question?
He just writes it in the book, stares at it, contemplates it for a little bit.
Okay.
And then gets ready to go to the seance.
Very cool.
You said this evening?
Yes.
Do we
Like
have time
late
for a
evening.
short rest?
Yes. Yep. So as evening comes, will all 4 of you come to the seance, or
You guys want me there?
Yeah, I'm going.
I'll go. Well, do I need to stay with the people, or can I assign?
probably assign someone to it?
Yeah, I'd assign like 3 different people to watch it.
When she arrives, can I like roll instinct or something to see if there's anything fishy?
Against Cassie?
Yeah.
Sure. And Cassie will roll presence with advantage.
With advantage?
12 with fear.
I got a 12, 17, 19. Oh, yeah, 19 with fear. Can't read.
No, you cannot.
So you see fine.
She seems normal. And thanks for 3 fear.
Oh, God.
You're welcome.
3 fear, nothing happens.
For nothing.
As you arrive, you see that there's a circle of candles around Lucerian's bed. And Theodore sits in the circle. And as you come in, Amelin is there as well, Seer. And she's outside the circle, and she says, "Please do not enter the circle. The seance is about to begin." As the seance begins, Theodore turns, and he turns specifically to both of you, Cassie and Oro. One may join if you wish, but know this: you could get lost and never return.
Cassie steps forward.
You enter the seance?
You further.
Yes, I do.
Okay. So you and Theodore sit, and he asks you, do you know how to meditate?
Yes.
Clear your thoughts, and when I open the door, step through, you will be powerless on the other side, and you will be the raw version of yourself. And as he begins the seance, with all of the incense and all of the chemicals arranged, you see in your mind's eye the room before you, and a door at the foot of the bed appears and opens. You see Theodore's body and his soul leaves his body, and he turns to you, and then he walks through the door.
I follow.
Your soul stands up and walks through the door. What you see leave your body is a version of you that is cracked and decaying and smoldering.
What's wrong with your soul?
Your
all right.
eyes glow yellow as Cassie and whatever she has become enters Usarion's mind. You see Theodore, and he turns to you, and he doesn't react to what he sees. And he gestures for you to follow him as you see a landscape of, picture like the most perfect spring, and flowers like when Dorothy in Wizard of Oz is running through the poppy fields. And this is an endless landscape. He begins to walk. As he continues to walk, he eventually, after what seems like 8 hours of walking through this field of nothing, comes across a clearing where all of the flowers and all of the wildlife has been burned away. And in the center sits a naked man, a demigod, Usarion, as he himself meditates. Theodore turns to you and he says, I am not of your legion. Perhaps it would be better if you talked to your lord.
I step forward, I'm trying to, and well, I stop like a respectful distance away, and I say, Lucerian?
Who calls to me?
It is Caspian Lapointe of your host.
Know not of what a host is, but I find your name and your voice familiar. His eyes are still closed. He hasn't opened and looked up.
Yes, I'm a part of your inner circle.
What is an inner circle?
It is a small group of those that you trust and that are powerful enough to see the Emperor's will done.
The Emperor's will. My father. And why are you here? In this place?
You are lost. And I believe that soon you will die.
I can feel it. I know the power that I have. I have the power to create, to destroy at a whim, but it is lost. I do not know how to get it back.
Let me help you. How can I help?
Sit with me, child.
Sit down.
And as you go to sit down, you see things begin to approach. And you see Theodore walks the circle and uses what magic, like not innate magic because it is gone from him. Nobody has magic, but he knows how to create with what is there, and he knows the runes to apply to the ground to keep those things from coming. There's something, you are here and the environment is reacting to you in whatever form that you are. And you said, how can you help? Do you know what it is like to be lost?
Yes. Not of the level that you are, I'm afraid, but I have been lost many times in my life.
And what if both paths forward mean harm, where there is no right way, wouldn't it then be better to give up completely?
You forge your own path. You do what those believe you can't, what you've been told that you can't, what seems impossible at that moment, and you square your shoulders and you forge on ahead.
To make your own path and to ignore those that would lie to you and lead you astray. But how do you know who is leading you astray?
You don't. And you can try and figure it out, but that might just be part of life. Being led astray sometimes, but finding the path back, no matter how long it takes, how much effort, as long as that happens, as long as you do what you can to remain on the path or as close to it as possible, then you can never be lost.
What is that path?
Whatever you decide.
But I was made to serve another, for their path.
Is that what you wish to do?
Yes.
Then that's your path.
Even if it means hurting those that I love.
You don't have to hurt those that you love.
But what if you've been lied to and led astray, and everything that you know is a lie? And the people that you love have abandoned you. You had a family, and you ran away from your family. Why?
Because I was nothing in that family. There was nothing for me. There was nothing but expectations that I could not fulfill. So I made my own path. I joined the Emperor and I started new.
The Emperor, my father. Cassie, I sense that you are more powerful than you even believe you to be. If I'm going to forge my own path, need a weapon. Will you be my weapon?
Yes.
And he opens his eyes and he looks directly at you. Then I choose life and my own path.
Welcome back.
And he stands up and he reaches his hand down. Come, my weapon. We have work to do.
Grab his hand.
And he walks, and Theodore Kairos looks at you, and he nods. And you both leave. And you wake up at the foot of the bed, and sitting up is your lord. Lucerion sits and he wakes.
You did it.
And he sees all of you before him.
You did it.
It is well into the morning. For what it has seemed like 8 hours to you, was almost as long to these guys that sat there for that whole time. And as you wake, Lucerion looks. Assemble my inner circle. There's much work to be done.
Yes, sir.
And we will close and pick it up next time.
You're in a relationship with someone with daddy issues.
God.
That's this.
Wow, two guys got in a relationship this session.
Right?
Well, he's got two girls. You got
A team? Whatever.
Oh, you folded.
Yeah.
Hey, there's four of us. You guys can share some love.
I'm married.